you look so sexy today.
It's
Like you look
early,
edible.
I mean,
like,
yeah, I like, yeah.
do you know what I mean? You look like I'll lick you. Do you know what I mean? If I could, you look like a delicious snack. I would run my tongue all over you if I could. Like if it was if you gave me permission. Do you know what I mean? You look so good. Jesus Christ! I'm sitting here and my loins are stirring. Do you know what I mean? Just looking at you. Is that too much?
It's the Romesh, Ranganathan show.
Oh, shut up, Romesh.
Jamie, thank you so much for coming on the show. I
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it. What do you think?
I love it.
Yeah?
I love it. It's like, you know, there's a little bit of hip hop going on. Nice one of you there. That is you, isn't it?
Are you taking the piss now?
No.
Is that a banter?
No,
That's not me.
I was not.
No.
Oh, sorry. Should we start again?
What do you think of the other stuff?
I love it.
Yeah. I didn't
I'm a
choose
little
all of
bit. I
this.
don't like. It's very different. I don't know what to say because
What do you
if
mean?
I could say the wrong thing. And
Well,
it could get in
just don't
trouble.
point at anything else and go, is that you? That would be a good start.
Okay. Well, Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, great.
That's not my old teeth there, is it?
We did actually get your gift. Can we get Jamie's gift, please?
Oh, thank you, mate.
There you go.
Mm.
What do you think of that?
I know what it is.
You do know what it is?
Yeah, it's obviously there's a Swedish flag there, and it's a.
I mean,
What do they call it?
why have we put the flag there? The whole point of this thing was to test you, to see if you knew what it was. And we put a Swedish flag there.
Yeah.
That's-
what they
that
call
is-
it, like
that
a
is- Go on.
smorgasbord or something.
Smorgasbord. It's a smorgasbord, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know why we got you that?
Because I've got a Swedish little boy and I've got a Swedish wife.
Yeah, you have got a Swedish wife. Do you consider your boy Swedish?
Rafa, well, it depends really. You know, I would absolutely say yes. He's half Swedish, half English, obviously.
Yeah.
And if he's not good enough to play for England, yes, he can play for Sweden. You know, so no, joking aside. No, I'm very proud of his Swedish roots because I think I played with a lot of Swedes, a lot of Scandinavians. I love
know
their
you
work
did.
ethic.
Hello.
Stop it. And yes, Frida is no, she's a diamond. She really is.
Mate, you have
Yeah.
done so well. Anyway, what do you know about this stuff? Like,
Well-
what have you tried from this? First of all, do you know what it all is?
Well, yeah, but it's not pickled herrings is a thing, isn't it? That's not there, is it?
Is
We've
that
got
in the
smoked
tin?
salmon?
That's smoked salmon, yeah.
Yeah, that's the prawn. Right, Frida likes that. What's the prawns in fennel? Is it fennel?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, good.
Is that calamari?
Is that calamari?
It's not, is it?
No,
Looks like it though, doesn't it?
it's actually the only vegan thing. It's jordnots.
What? Who's nuts? Oh, God, what a root one thing to say.
Jordnots.
Jordnots.
Okay.
And what are they?
That's a peanut butter crisp, and that's vegan. So that's the
Okay,
only thing
great.
you can eat on that.
Okay.
And that's like, what's that, ham?
At the bottom,
Yeah,
that's
you're right.
reindeer jerky, or also
Reindeer
actually no, it's just
jerky?
called reindeer jerky. There's not a Swedish name for that.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to try?
Not really.
We can open the
No,
we can
but-
open the fistbulla, which is fish
Oh,
balls.
listen, yeah.
The fish
Fish
balls.
balls.
What's
the
this?
fish balls.
Is that balls of
You
fish?
don't have to cook them either. You can have them raw. It looks
Yeah,
nice.
it looks pretty
Jesus
stinky, doesn't
Christ.
it?
Sorry, that's really
Oh,
cold.
no, we love you, man. And I love the fact that you're trying to, but no. I'm sorry, buddy.
I just thought.
Can I just have a quick smell? It's a bit...
It really smells.
Fuck.
That's really,
Fucking
no, honestly,
hell.
No, you can't even.
No, I'm sure that's not. That is nice. I'm sure that is nice. But
If you have it with the sort of the Rivitri bread thing.
is that a bread? That whole thing's a bread.
Oh my
Fuck
God.
me!
I thought that was like
I thought that
place
was
cover.
a box with something in it.
Yeah. Honestly,
What?
I
Holy
was going to put my plate on top of it.
What do you dip that in?
So frizz. I can't take these on
I
holiday.
cannot
Frisbees.
believe.
We'll have a little try though, Ron. Come on.
Yeah, go on now. I don't know if that was cancelable, what we just did. You're just looking at a load of foreign food and going, This episode of the Romesh Ranganathan Show is brought to you by Santander, helping you pay smarter with a Santander Edge credit card offering rewards, control and security. Feel in charge today. Get a little boost in your day-to-day life with cash back on your daily spending. And feel confident about tomorrow because those everyday rewards add up, helping you stretch your money further. Pay smarter with a Santander Edge credit card. 37.8% APR representative variable. Monthly fee applies. Other credit cards available. Credit subject to status and eligibility. T's and C's apply. 1% cash back up to £10 a month on all purchases. Visit Santander's website for more details. Thanks.
Do you know what is what's amazing about when you go to Sweden as well?
Yeah.
They've got the sweetest tooth in the world. They
Really?
love sweets.
Yeah.
So you go to, because they all look so fit. They're all
Yeah.
so athletic, so
Yeah.
lean, but they have got the sweetest tooth in the world.
Mm.
Honestly, it's right, because they like this sort of food, which is quite, I find it hard to eat, but then they love washing it down with a load of sweets, which I'm quite happy with, because I've got a sweet tooth myself.
The first thing I want to say to you is, you became a dad again at 49 years old, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, 49, 50, yeah.
So what was that like?
It
I mean,
was,
you're very, I do want to say, I think you're an amazing dad, right? And I have spent a lot of time with you when you've been phoning the boys and like talking to them or talking to people that are about to take Bo for training or whatever and all this stuff. I do think you're an incredible dad. What was it like trying to re-rouse yourself to do that all over again?
I think the most difficult one, well, part of it was actually telling the kids
Right.
that they're going to have a younger brother.
Yeah. How did they react?
It didn't go down that well with Charlie.
Okay.
I've got to be honest. I went to pick him up at school and tell him that that Frida's pregnant, and it went down like a lead balloon, if I'm honest.
Right. Was
for
he not
about 2
impressed that his
weeks.
old man has still got something though?
Yeah, I think probably a little bit. He's has still got a bit of game, but no, no, genuinely from a purely. And I got it. I totally understood it.
Yeah.
Because his world's been turned upside down. You know, you're married and everything seems so, straightforward. And then you meet somebody else and you get married again.
Yeah.
And it's a very, and there'll be a lot of people, a lot of dads listen to this thinking that conversation's a tough one, because the truth is nothing's ever going to change. Your heart's got so big that you can fit lots of other kids into it. So nothing was going to change from Charlie and Bo's aspect. It was always going to be there.
But there
for
is a
them.
limit to that, isn't there?
There is.
Like what I mean is, like, if you had 100 kids,
Mm.
you've not got enough
Time. And
Yeah.
yeah.
But
But
some of them
and
you're
also
gonna-
getting older,
Yeah.
But it's what it has done is, like, Rafa is almost a glue for everybody, because we've got 7 kids between us. We've got a lot of kids, a lot of
Yeah.
moving parts.
That's like Asian levels, man.
Oh, mate, and it's not always easy, and I'm
No.
sure anyone that's done the same, when the modern term is to blend a family, it's never going
Yeah.
to be that simple. But I like to think we've done it pretty well. Rafa has definitely been the glue for everybody, because you can't not love him. He's amazing. He's hilarious.
So cute.
So there, Charlie got once he sort of got over that, and I got it. So I wouldn't be disrespectful, because he has his own individual feelings. Bo was
Yeah.
a little bit easier. I think he was a bit younger at the time, but I think Charlie must have been sort of 17 years of age. So it's tough, difficult age, and he's
Yeah.
trying to figure everything out. But I think he knew that how much, I respect and love Frida. So he was totally fine with it in the end. But he's amazing, honestly. He's 3 years of age. He's
Yeah.
a bundle of joy, great energy.
What's been different about being a dad at 49 as opposed to when you were younger and the other two?
I think I'm a bit more relaxed from.
Right.
Well, you got 3 boys. You know what it's like.
Yeah, I'm
It's,
very relaxed with all of them.
it's hard, isn't it? It's never. You try to be, because I think there's that fine line, because you want to be their best mate, but you've also got to be. You have to have. It's got to be tough love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Charlie's just about to turn 21, and Bo is just turned. He's 16, nearly 17. So there's lots of things you have to take into account because of the emotions, but you want to be their best mate, but you've also got to be tough with them. I think
Yeah.
that's how my dad was with me. He was very, very honest, and in terms of my relationship with him is as good now as what it's ever been, and we've never really fallen out. But sometimes you've got to be you have to be honest with them, and you have to explain to them how brutal the world is and how hard you have to work if you want to be successful. You've got a great work ethic, so I think that certainly rubs off on your kids. If your kids see you working hard and trying to make a living for yourself, trying to make sure that you do the right things and set good examples, be nice to people, be well mannered, it has to rub off on them, because
Yeah.
it's all sort of learned behaviour, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is, but like, I don't know how you are. I mean, you always seem pretty like self-assured, but I'm slightly riddled with like insecurity and stuff like that. I've definitely
so am
passed
I.
it on
We
to
all
them.
are, Rob.
I mean, I reckon there isn't a day that goes by where I don't interact with my kids and think to myself, they'll be talking about that to a therapist at some point.
I know what you mean. I know. There's been plenty of those moments. Yeah, there has. Honestly, sometimes even the football and things like that. And I watch Bo play, and then I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to just leave it. I'm going to leave it. Then you get in the car, and it just all comes out.
But like for the other, because so our youngest plays football, but the problem that our kids have got is they're blessed with my genetics. Do you know what I mean? So I know they've not got a football future. So, so we just play for fun. Or I go and watch Charlie play, and some of the other parents are like super aggy. Like I did a video about it. I did an Instagram video where I just went, "Can you just chill out? They're probably not going to be in the Premier League because the chances are probably not." But you watch them shout and scream. It's mad. It must be weird for other parents seeing Jamie Redknapp on the side, like at the side of the pitch. Is that what? Do you feel that not pressure, but do you feel people watching you?
Yeah, I guess so. And I'm going to go through it again now with Rafa.
Yeah.
Trying to be a football parent is tough because with Charlie, my oldest, I thought he's going to be a footballer. Well, my dad's a footballer, I'm a footballer. My brother was pretty good, and Frank Lampard had a great career, and his dad had a great career. So I'm like thinking, sure, that's just natural, just the genetics. And
Whereas for me, it's like dad's uncoordinated, his brother's uncoordinated, like Uncle Din's uncoordinated. Like there's no physical ability in any of the family. So it's a clean slate. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. So you didn't know what was going to happen, but you're all got funny genes.
You have to when you look how we do.
No, but you still don't know how it's going to go out. So so like with Rafa now, I'm thinking to myself, I mean, am I going to be another football dad? And he's only 3, but what I quite like is Frida's fiercely competitive.
Right.
So I'm actually going to just leave this to Frida. Because just say Frida, because I know, I listened to her at sports day and things like that. Rafa had like a sports day at school the other day. Come on, Rafa, run! And I'm like, brilliant. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this now.
But the thing is, that I ripped the piss out of you, obviously, on league. But you have had an amazing career. Like you were an incredible player. Like, and I won't say that. I'll never say this on the show. But you were amazing, and you achieved at the very, very top level. Does that make you more frustrated with your kids if they're not displaying the same level of like skill that you did?
Yes, really do. That's a horrible question. That's a horrible. You're a horrible man. I knew this. As you were saying it, you were trying not to smile, weren't you? No, because you're immensely proud. Like my oldest boy, Charlie, plays rugby, and he's brilliant at what he does.
Yeah.
And Bo now is trying to embark on being a footballer. He's just signed as a scholar at Brentford.
Congratulations, Bo. That's amazing.
Thank you. And I always said I wouldn't talk about it because I don't want to put him under any undue pressure because it's hard, Rob.
Yeah.
It's already hard enough trying to be a footballer without your dad playing, and obviously everyone knows my dad and we just know how difficult it is. But to be fair, he's quite cool about it. When he did his scholarship evening, when they signed, I was like, Bo, look, just so you know, I'm not going to put anything on social media. I don't want to put any more pressure on you. And he was like, no, I want you to, because I can handle it. It's fine. What people are going to say on social media, some people are going to be nice, some are not. I can't worry about that. And if I'm lucky enough to become a footballer, then great. And I work my hardest, and fingers crossed it can happen. But it does bring pressure. Absolutely know that, because I know how difficult it is. So I am on him. I'm always, talking to him about training and how hard you have to, you have to sacrifice yourself. And, he's 16 years of age. And, there was so many times at 16, 17 when my mates would be having parties or they'd be going out, and I'd just go, no, I can't come. I'm not going to go. And maybe there was a girl that I liked at that school, and I thought, but you have to do it. You have to sacrifice yourself. If you want to be a successful footballer, unless you're a complete unicorn and you're like Messi or Ronaldo and you can do both, it's tough. So I'm trying to explain that to Bo. So like sometimes on a Saturday night, it's like, oh, Dad, I want to go. I said, well, if you go, then you're telling me you don't want to be a footballer. So, and I think that might sound really harsh to some people.
No, I think it's good. No, I'm surprised. No, but I know, but
you know,
I'm not reacting that I think it's a bad thing to say. I think it's a good thing. But that's a difficult thing to say to your kid.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It is. But if you want to be, you have to, because it's self-sacrifice. It's saying, okay, when everyone else is doing it, and does it really, like if you go out, you know, is it going to really impact? But it's just setting intentions right in your head, because you're saying, this is what I want. This is what I want from my life. And don't get me wrong, I made up for it. You know, I missed those parties at 16, but I'm at 21 when you're a bit older to decide.
Yeah.
But it is tough. You know what it's like. And all you want is the best for your kids.
Well, look, you know that my mum loves you.
I do.
And you like my mum.
Yep.
Don't you?
She's great, your mum.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, like, whenever she comes on League, I always think, you know, I'm unoffendable, but you do push it with the sex stuff with her, don't you? A little bit.
Really? It's more Shanthi, I would say, that pushes it. But I just natural, isn't it? You know, we get on well. I don't know what else to say, Rom.
Okay. Well, she has got a question for you, Jay.
Has she?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, hopefully it's not. What's the best way you like to smash? But let's.
Stop it, right?
But,
What does Shanthi say?
I don't know what the question is. This is like a surprise to me.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Jamie. I have met you so many times. You are the most handsome man in the whole wide world. If somebody come and stand in front of you and said, I fancy you, I like to have a date with you, how will you react? I love to know that. I might do it, but I'm old. Okay? Thank you.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
So-
I did not expect the
that-
question to be a thirst trap.
Yeah.
That,
I know.
that
There was
is
so many
so
different
desperate. Just
angles in
asking
that.
Jamie if a Sri Lankan woman in her 70s stripped off and said, "Would you like a date?"
Yeah.
And let's see where it goes. What would you say? Asking for a friend? Well, I mean, look. First of all, you're happily married, but let's assume that that's not.
Okay, well, let's
That's
talk about
not the
in
case.
my single days.
Yeah, in your
Yeah.
single days.
Comes up.
We can role play it now if
Yeah,
you
let's
want.
do it.
Okay. So I'll be the woman.
Okay.
Are you being your mum?
No, I'm just going to be a random woman.
How? What do you look like?
Well, I'd say to help this role play, put my face out of your mind.
That's right now. That's very difficult. But go on, let's go.
I don't know. What do you like? Sort of,
Swedish.
Statuesque. Yeah, Swedish.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do a Swedish accent because I don't
Okay.
think I can. How does Swedish?
No, it's quite hard actually.
It is really hard. Can you try? Like,
Yeah, no, I can't. It's very difficult because Frida's English is so good.
yeah. Hello. Is that?
Yeah. Hello. No, that's not no. No, but how would I react?
Okay,
let's
imagine.
do
So I
it.
come up to you
Yeah.
and I go, "Oh, hello. Are you Jamie Redknapp?"
Yeah.
Well, I've been a big fan of yours for a long time.
Why are you doing that with your head? Because that's really putting me off right now. Go on. Get back into it. Get into the zone.
I actually feel quite nervous. Okay. Hi, Jamie. I'm a really. Oh, I've got to stop doing that in my head. I'm a really big fan of yours.
Thank you.
I think you're really. I hope this is not too forward, but I think you're a really attractive, sexy guy. Sexy guy.
Mm.
And I also think you're really. I love what you do on Sky. I
Thank
think
you.
you're so funny on League of Their Own.
You do?
Yeah. I was just wondering if it's possible.
What, like, where would you say, like, in terms of the funniest, where would you put me?
I wouldn't say you're not. You know, what I would say is you're fun. It's funnier because the expectations aren't there for you to
Okay.
be that funny.
When you laugh at me.
not
or
laughing
with
at
me,
you, not laughing at you, but sometimes if you make a joke, you think, oh, he can do that. You know,
Right?
what a surprise.
Mm.
That was witty,
For a fit footballer.
surprising. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
that was
well,
a full
yeah, well, I'm a
sentence.
thick foot-
Yeah. No, I'm not saying you're a thick footballer.
Well,
I think
you
you're
sort of
very
alluded
intelligent.
to
No,
that.
I'm not. No. This is no. God, this is the opposite of how this is supposed
I
to
mean,
go.
I've come on here today, and I'm now.
Well,
like, now this has turned into.
no, God, no, Jamie. This is the opposite of what I was trying to achieve. What I'm saying to you is, you're really witty and sexy and urbane, and I love
you.
the way you dress. And
Thank you.
and actually, I started wearing Skechers because of.
Yeah? Do you
Because of seeing
slip
you
it in or
endorsing
not?
them, yeah, I slipped them on, yeah, absolutely,
Nice.
and they're so comfortable, like a glove. As I say to my friends.
Stop it! Now you've really got me. Fancy a drink? Fancy some smorgasbord?
Would you, if a woman approached you, in all seriousness, has a woman ever approached? I'm sorry, I've seen your Instagram inbox. Women have approached you, right? But what I mean is, do you like that, or do you prefer to be the person that makes the first move?
I think that especially when you're a football, that's always the problem for football. Well,
Yeah.
anybody in the public eye. Why would someone come and approach you if they know who you are? So
Right.
that makes it a bit more. Are you coming to meet me because of
Yeah,
who
you're
I
less
am,
you're
what I
less
do?
trusting.
Yeah, but when you actually meet someone and you're in a different country, for instance, and you start talking and
Yeah,
you get
doesn't
on
count
well,
if you're in a different country. All right.
no,
What?
don't do that. Stop it. As I said that, I thought that's really not going where I want to go.
Different
yeah.
laws, am I
no,
right?
No. Don't ever fist bump me again. When you're in this country and they don't know who you are,
Yes. Right. Okay.
and you have a conversation,
Yeah.
or you're anywhere and they don't know,
Yeah.
and then you just start talking. And you
That's
get on well,
easier
it's
if they don't
lovely.
know who you are.
Yeah, because but that's always the dilemma for footballers or anybody in the public eye. Do they like me because of who I am or what I do?
I do think it's slightly different. I mean, I'm not a footballer, but I do think it's slightly different for you than it is for me, because even if you weren't a footballer and you hadn't achieved anything you've ever achieved, you still look like this, right? Whereas I look like this, right?
Yeah, but you've had one of the all-time great glow-ups. And I mean it. Like, you genuinely, when I think back to when you first come on the show and how, like, your gear, the way you looked, your haircut, like, you are honestly Benjamin Button. And I know you're thinking this is not complimentary, but
Well, you've really gone in on how I look when I first arrived. That's
Yeah. No, but look at now. You'd rather have it that way. You'd rather me say, remember those League of Their Own days? You looked absolutely fine. Now you look shit. What would you rather? You'd rather have it this way, wouldn't you?
No, that's true. That is true. But what I mean is, like, now, not that I get approached, but if you do get approached by anybody, it's different because I didn't get approached before, right? And so, like, that is just because I don't know, they've seen you on TV or whatever. But for you, you would have got approached regardless. That is the truth of it, isn't it? Look at you. Look
Stop
at
it,
you.
I'm getting older. But anyway, but you know what? Compliments, it's a lovely thing, isn't it? Like, I always think when someone comes up to you and they say to you, like, mate, I watched you at Liverpool, I really enjoyed how you play. You were a top player, and that for me is just so nice.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, you have some people that say you were shit, you know what I mean? But
People say that to your face.
Of course they do, yeah. And like, a lot of that comes from probably because of when you go on a show like League of Their Own and you get that stick and like people say, oh, you was injured all the time or this or that, you're going to get it. So people think that they can actually say that to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but most, like, I get, but it's like anything. When people are nice to you and they say something, they go, oh, I was at a game and remember that goal you scored? And you go, oh, no, thanks, man. That's such a nice thing to say.
So how do you feel about complimenting other men on how good they look?
I like the fact now that men can compliment each other.
Yeah.
Like, can say, well done.
Yeah.
You look good.
You look like today,
look
if I say
great.
to you, you look so fucking sexy today.
It's a
Like,
bit
you look
early.
edible.
I mean,
like,
yeah.
fucking,
I like, yeah.
I would fucking, do you know what I mean? You look like I'll lick you. Do you know what I mean? If I could, you look like a delicious snack. Do you know what I mean? I would fucking run my tongue all over you if I could. Like, if it was if you gave me permission. Do you know what I mean? You look so fucking good. Jesus Christ! I'm sitting there and my fucking loins are stirring. Do you know what I mean? Just looking at you.
I'm quite aroused now. But no, I look. Are you Big Tom?
Is that too much?
A bit much. What about Big Tom? Do you guys have because Big Tom is obviously like one of our best mates. We love Big Tom. Do you compliment Big Tom much? Because I think that's something you probably need to do more.
No, I do compliment Big Tom, and he's actually worked very, very hard on getting himself in shape. The other thing that I think that I happily do with Tom, and the conversation that we often have, and it's a conversation that something that you're very good at, actually, is just telling each other how much we love each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like being supportive and stuff. I think that is something that probably men didn't used to do as much, but like, I feel like you only ever do it, really, traditionally, it's like only when you're pissed, right? You would go, I fucking love you, mate, like, you're the best. But whereas now, I think, I'll say, I'll probably, every time we finish the podcast, I'll say to Tom, I love you.
But I actually say it to my mates normally when I say, like,
if
I'm on the phone to how you doing, you're like, listen, mate, I love you, I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I think it is nice to feel, because there is...
To feel loved.
Yeah. I tell my mum, I speak to my mum every day, and my dad, I tell them I love them when I speak to them.
Do you?
Every day.
Yeah, I do.
Without fail. My boys, they don't quite say, I want more I love you back from my two older boys.
Yeah, right.
Do you get that from your kids?
Yeah, but I force it, really.
Right.
I won't let the conversation end.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah, so I go,
Anything else to say?
Yeah, I go, I love you, and then they go, right, see you later. I go, no, I just said I love you.
Yeah.
And then I will leave the house after them if I need to. Do you know what I mean? It has to be reciprocated.
Yeah.
Same with Lisa.
Yeah.
I followed her to, I've gone to wherever she is with her mates.
Really?
Yeah, to surprise them. I said, I love you, bitch. My next question is, and you can give your opinion on this, and like, you'll know better than I do, but when you're being celebrated by a team or when a team signs you up, it's an amazing thing. But the accusation's always levelled at footballers. As soon as they don't want a kid anymore, there's no aftercare. You're just thrown aside. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah, and I've already had that discussion with Bo because I said to him, excuse me, that you've got to get an education as well on the back of this. They do now. They'll do A-levels, they do a B-Tech, and then you can set yourself up, because if he doesn't make it here as a footballer, which is very difficult, and he's under no illusions how tough it is, then you have an opportunity maybe to go to an American university and maybe try and get in the MLS. There's so many other different pathways, and football can just open so many doors for you. And that's really what we've discussed, because there's no point me just saying, right, you're going to... Because I was all in. I was probably unique that and
Is it
we
fair to
joke
say you
about
didn't
it.
have any backup qualification? I mean,
Zero. I didn't even honestly, Rom, and I'm embarrassed to say it, but I'm really lucky that I've done okay. I didn't even take my GCSEs at the time, O levels, because I mean I turned up for my English exam with my cookery stuff. You know, I thought that was what I was pineapple upside down pudding. You know, and even then I messed that up. Mrs. Bonar was like,
what's Jamie getting out at his desk?
I know. She was lovely, Mrs.
Yeah.
Bonar.
Anybody needing help with their English paper? You got a hob?
Honestly, Rob. And so that was it. But everyone knew, like the school knew. I had two great sports teachers, Mr.
Yeah.
Broadwell, Mr. Jackson. They would just say to me, look, come on the pitch. They knew what I wanted to do. And don't get me wrong, it isn't right. But a lot of kids, funny enough, with what I've tended to see now with a lot of good, young, talented footballers, and there'll be, I mean, there's a couple at Man City, a couple at Chelsea, they're actually homeschooled now.
Right.
It's because their parents have seen talent and they're going to go, right, rather than do your general, go into school and, mixing with other kids, which I think is quite a dangerous thing. You're just going to stay at home, you're going to do your academics in the morning, football in the afternoon, and they're going to get sort of taught by their parents, which is fine. But and it works because a lot of these kids are sensational footballers, but there's also that other side of it where that aspect of mixing with people, and that's a
Yeah.
big part of being a footballer, a human being. So that was really what I did. I used to go into training with my dad, or my dad would drop me at school, and he'd go, look, do you want to come training with me? And I'd go, of course I do, and so I'd just take my school stuff off, I'd go to training, and I'd join in with the first team at 11, 12 years
Did your
of
mum
age.
know about this?
No, because we put the school stuff back on, so when I drive in back, Dad would say, look, put your school gear back on. And I walk back in. How was school today? Yeah, brilliant, Mum. Went really well.
Yeah.
Enjoyed
Made
it.
pineapple upside down cake again. Getting really good at it.
I'm still good at it now, Rom, honestly. That's what you should have brought out now instead of the smorgasbord. But no, I was, so yeah, look, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't advise it, but it worked for me. I was lucky.
But Joe, you were shit hot, right? So So you must, everybody, like your dad must have known he is probably going to be a footballer, right? If you're playing at that level,
anything could have happened. Anything could have happened. I was very fortunate that things went my way. And I was at Bournemouth I was playing the first team at 16, which is, which is young, and I was sort of getting, that kind of exposure at an early age, being around people. I'd always sort of. I was very fortunate in growing up as a kid. When we lived in the US, there was always Bobby Moore was there, so Jeff Hurst and like heroes of mine. So I got an understanding of what it was like to be around footballers, and I thought this is all I want to do.
Yeah,
and I don't know how it worked with you. The first time you go up, that's what I want. I want to get on stage and make people laugh.
Yeah,
I just want to be on a football pitch and play football.
Yeah, I mean, listen, mate. When I started doing comedy, obviously, I was getting distracted by girls and, so many opportunities there. Do you know what I mean? To just I could have been, I could have thrown away my comedy career just by becoming a shagger.
Was it
difficult?
I mean? Yeah.
It was so hard. Do you know what I mean?
Like sacrifice.
Yeah. It was sacrifice. Mum would go, look, this is your cousin. And I go, fuck, I could go that way.
Lucky that my cousin was Frank, so I didn't go that way. That would a little bit odd, Yeah.
But just off the back of you talking about playing football at the level you did, one thing I want to ask you, Soccer Aid, because I think, even though we love Premier League football, I don't think people realise how good you have to be a Premier League footballer, right? And then when you watch Soccer Aid, some of the celebs do something like sort of decent, and then people go,
he could have been a pro. Yeah. I know.
What do you think when you hear people say that?
No, but look, I think Soccer
It's
Aid
bullshit,
is,
isn't it?
Yeah, but it's really because obviously now with the way that football, and you've got to remember you're playing against players that are like getting really old, that can hardly run anymore, but you still see the quality, don't you? And I love watching Soccer Aid. Like Dad still does it now. I did it and I loved it, but I had a knee replacement sort of 2 years ago, so I've stopped doing it.
All of them say that they shut themselves. Like, when you walk out onto... First of all, the two observations a lot of them make is, one, the pitch is loads bigger than you ever thought it was going to be when you first step on. And two, the crowd, it's like... I know you always say to me about stand-up, it must be nerve-wracking getting up in front of all those people, but you are getting up in front of all those people, like more people, right? Because you've got 60,000 people or whatever. Did that, I mean, for them, they're doing it for the first time, or they might, they're doing it a couple of years, but you were doing it every time. Do you get nervous every time about the crowd?
I used to get really nervous, yeah. I was very, I was just so desperate to do well. That was really, and I used to admire, so I'd sit next to Robbie Fowler, and Robbie was. I put Robbie in the genius category, like, and he'd be sitting there. I could picture him now, like it's like the dressing room's like in a corner where the bench, and he'd just put his feet across, and he'd be reading the program up until about 20 to 3, a 3 o'clock kickoff. And I should just think, I'd love to be like that. And I was
Read
like,
literature.
yeah, I was just reading this, yeah. But it was like I just wanted to, do so well, and my granddad used to travel up from London every game, and I just want to just be amazing for him. And my dad was probably managing at Bournemouth, and I couldn't wait to get on the phone after, tell him I'd done well, and make him proud.
What was
you
he
know.
like? Was it would he be encouraging or was he harsh?
My dad?
Yeah.
No, he was good. I have to be honest. He was pretty incredible. My dad. He'd have there would be a few things that I'd always know where he was sitting in the match, and we would almost have this. It was almost like sign language, where if he was watching me, I would know. I don't know why. I cared more what he said at halftime or before, as I was walking in, than maybe what the manager did. And that's no disrespect. So obviously, I respected my managers, but if it was good, like, and people would always be watching him, he may be just like rubbing his hands together, which meant like brilliant,
Yeah.
or just a thumbs up. And there'd be sometimes if I wasn't doing enough, he'd do like, come on, you got to
Right.
run more, you know what I mean, or things like that. And or maybe if I'd missed a tackle or something, he'd give me that one, So there was just like that, and more often than not. But he was never. He was just I got to be honest, he was a great dad. He never really
Yeah.
I never said anything that was harsh. He would always just be totally honest with you. So I just valued his opinion so
Yeah.
much.
I had a similar thing with my dad, where my dad used to come to all my gigs when I started out. But I remember once I did my first. I got booked. You get booked in for a weekend, right? Where you're doing like the Thursday, Friday. So that's like you're starting to make it on the circuit. They're putting you in on the lineup.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I got booked in at Comedia, which is like a big club in Brighton. It's like really hard to get in. You got to do your open spot and trial and all that. And so my dad came to watch me, and I thought I'd had a good gig, like it went well. And then when I came off, my dad said to me, "The guy that was on last was much better than you. If you want to make it, you're gonna have to. First thing you got to do is get as good as that guy." Like,
Yeah,
and I remember it really hurt at the time. But it's better that than he just like pumped me
course.
up. Do you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
I think I've smashed it. And then
Yeah, I
do you
know.
know what
I
I
don't
mean?
mind that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't mind that. There was a couple of times in my career my dad was like, when I was younger, I remember playing against this kid, and it was at Bournemouth Stadium. Funny enough, I was about 15, and the kid got the better of me. And his name Danny Allsop, I'll never forget it. Nice kid, nice boy. I spoke, he ended up sort of did okay in his career.
Yeah.
And then I was like, he said to me after, he was better than you. He wanted it more than you, and he sort of did the aspects of the game that he did better. And I was like, okay. And then I played against him about a year later, and I thought, I'll prove you. I'll show you. And I did. And then, I think that honesty is something that's almost gone out of life now. You're really scared to tell your kids or tell people.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you say it in the right way.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever said.
Was your dad funny? Did he get comedy or
Yeah, he was like really funny. Like
Right.
I think probably like most of like, my mum's really funny, obviously, but like I think a lot of the kind of the sarcastic kind of dry humor that came from my dad. That was my dad. So my dad got comedy, but he was like he combined being very supportive, being really harsh about when he thought I wasn't, if he
Yeah.
thought he wasn't funny enough or whatever.
how did that make you feel when he said that? to
It was
you? Because-
to be honest with you, it's gutting at the time. Like, you don't want to walk off a gig and have the first thing that your dad says to you be that you need to step it up. But actually, it then meant that because I'd come off stage if my mum was there. She'd go, "Oh my God, amazing! You should be world famous, darling." And that's really nice to hear.
Yeah.
But it's not useful feedback. Whereas,
know
like,
what you
my
mean.
dad would be like,
More honest.
yeah, you stood out because you weren't as, like he'd just be straight up with me,
Right.
And I would.
But
in
that
the-
made you better.
Yeah, because
There
then you
you
just
go.
go, I've got a graph. But then, as I'm having this conversation with you now, I don't think I've ever said that to my kids.
Yeah.
I've been like, I just pump them up. But like, but now I'm thinking, sometimes I need to go, that was shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably too
No,
much.
I know. Listen. There are times when I'm like, okay, how do I sort of broach this with Bo with the football? And I'll go, I sat and I wait for him to come out, and I'm like, do I just go, yeah, well done today, mate? But
Yeah.
if he didn't do well, or if he didn't do the right things, or there's certain things I can help him with, and I didn't say that, I'm not really going to help his career.
Yeah.
So there, and because the dangerous thing is when a parent that doesn't really understand football or been involved, and then they start telling that you should do this, you should do that, then that becomes a difficult one. But
Yeah.
I like to think I've got an understanding, especially he plays the same position as me. But it's like anything, there's a way of saying it.
Yeah.
But I don't think people or kids are as resilient as maybe as used to getting that kind of
Yeah.
straightforward criticism as what we were.
I think it's a different type of coaching for me. So it's like, they'll tell me about an interaction they had with a teacher or whatever, and I just put an arm around them and go, it would have been funny if you'd have called him a nonce. Do you know what I mean? Just like really get in there early. Do you know what I mean? It's like his face is a bit puffy, dig in on that. He recently had a divorce. You could like really take him out of that.
Finish him.
Yeah.
That's your finisher.
So listen, we need to talk about I was about to say the elephant in the room. There's about 7 of them. League of Their Own.
Mm.
Bit sad, isn't it? As I'm talking
Yeah.
to you now, we're about to go and record the last series. It's a weird situation where rather than you do the series and then afterwards the channel don't call you and then you discover it's been cancelled. We've been told this is the last. Well, everyone's decided it's the last series, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
We've done 20 series in the modern day of doing anything is remarkable, isn't it? Really? So I wasn't surprised to a certain extent because of, the way that things change and TV moves on. But I look back and that just purely from a selfish point of view, that I was lucky that I had a football career and I played for England and did everything I ever wanted to do. And when I retired at 31, I thought to myself, right, what's next? And that's terrifying. But I'm thinking to myself, Ron, what's next? So I was going to get into, like, my dad always felt like I'd get into management.
Right.
And subconsciously, I'd watch my dad be a football manager and go through like the highs and the lows and the emotion was horrendous at times, like mum would if they'd lost it, she said, like, just be careful what you say today. I was normally good because I got it. My brother would always put his foot in it. He was always the one that would say the stupid thing and wind my dad out. So I didn't want to do management. Then
why not?
Because I just subconsciously watched my dad go through this high and low, and also thought to myself, I like what I like. I want to be around my kids. I want to play golf. I want to just.
You're going from one high pressure thing to then take on another really high pressure thing. I wanted
to be a footballer.
Yeah.
So when people think, oh, you've got to be, no, but they're two different entities. Like one, you play and you go out on the pitch. The second, you're in control of all of these players.
Yeah.
And I was coming into a time where it was becoming more and more difficult. Footballers and agents and managers and like managers were having almost less say than ever because people will go above you, speak to the chairman, next thing the manager gets a sack. You lose 5 games on the spin. I mean, you know what you're like when you've Arteta, if he's having a bad run, you're Arteta out.
Yeah,
you're the worst.
I'm all over the place.
Yeah. No, you're up and down. No, so I thought to myself, I don't want to be a manager.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to do it. I had no interest at all. So I got into the media and I started working at Sky. And that went really well for me. And like lucky enough, I look at, okay, that's another career, but another career that's natural progression, I guess. If you're not a footballer, you go into punditry or to management.
Did you know that you're going to be good at it? Because
No,
some footballers, if they have a great career, it almost goes against them as a pundit, right?
Yeah, because they can't understand.
Yeah,
why,
they can't analyse it because they're just like, why don't you just do that?
Can't you do that?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have certain managers like that. Glenn Hoddle was a genius, and he couldn't understand why people just couldn't flick the ball over their head, then take it with a left foot, flick it over your head again, and then volley it in the top corner. Well, that's simple, right? But it's not.
Yeah.
And so then I went down that route, Rom, and then I got asked to do League of Their Own, and I was like, that's a really nerve-wracking thing to do with amazing comedians and Freddie Flintoff and just retired. And I thought, okay, let's do it. James was doing what he was doing, and then different comedians come up, and then did a series, and I didn't really say a lot. I was a bit like I was mute. I got to be honest, they turned my mic off at times because I had nothing to say. I was a bit like, I was shy. I was nerve-wracking. It was nerve-wracking.
But listen, it's not with you. It's not always about what you're saying, is it? It's like, look.
I know, but this
I mean?
can get you in trouble, Ron. So, joking aside.
I know, mate. It's a problem I know all too well.
But no, so I did. So I got into League of Their Own, and I was like, but it's been so good for me because it actually, in the football community or in the dressing room, I'm super. Like, I always felt I had something to say. I was Liverpool captain and things. So that made you like you've got obviously a bit of a voice. And you're happy to communicate with people and different aspects and not just on the pitch, off it. But League of Their Own, live cameras was nerve-wracking. I found it so difficult to start with. But then as it went on and I got to, I ended up, you come on and obviously Jack, and we had that camera, like the chemistry that you can't really teach. And I look back and think I was so lucky to do it. And I'm still so, we won a couple of BAFTAs along the way.
Yeah.
And I've made great friends, like spending time with you and Freddie, Jack, John Bishop, James Corden, like people that I respect so much in different industries. And I've been part of it. And brought me out it's made me so much more confident in terms of talking to people, you know, with comedy and timing and things like that. 'Cause my dad's got amazing comedic timing. You know,
Mate,
he
he's
could be a
so
genius. He
funny.
could be a comedian.
Yeah, he's so
And I
funny.
I'm not like that, but I understand the value of comedy and laughing and some of the things that we do. I remember we went on the road trip where you know, that's some of the ideas that we had with. Remember the chocolate rabbit thing? And I
Yeah.
said, like, you know, let's make something happen here. And then
Yeah.
you decided to smash it on my head as hard as you could. And you added your comedy to it. But
Pretty route one.
yeah, it was an
Let's
open
be
goal.
honest.
It was an open goal. But no, I've been very fortunate, you know, and I've loved League of Their Own.
If you watch the early series of League of Their Own, you're right. Not that you were mute, but you aren't what you are now. Do you know what I mean? Because like now, I'm not just saying this. As a host, I treat you as a comic. Do you know what I mean? Like like I know if I throw something to you, you'll always come up with something. Do you know what I mean? I mean, like when I first started as a regular on the red team, first of all, I was shitting it because everybody loved Jack
Well, yeah.
so much. Yeah, and then I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
luckily,
I devastated when Jack left, to be honest.
cheers, mate. But like.
No, I loved it. You come
No.
on, it was seamless. It was
No,
brilliant.
but then we had
They were tough. That must have been. Yeah, when you think about it, they were tough shoes to fill. Because Jack, like you, they all both.
he's
you're-
amazing.
you're
Like
both-
Jack's
yeah.
Jack's amazing, right? So then when like I came on, I was like, and then
Yeah.
obviously you see like people going, oh my god, Romesh, how's this going to be? And then we did have early on, we had a couple of set pieces that didn't go that well. I don't know if you remember when we tried to do the telepathic thing, like the mind reader thing with each other, really early on, where I said I could read your mind,
Yeah.
and then that played to silence for quite a long time.
Did it?
Yeah, and then Freddie went, "How do you think that went, Rom?"
No. Yeah, he's just a man you need when something like that happens. No, but I don't. You know what, mate? Straight away, you and I got on well.
Yeah.
Because you knew like we have. That's why I think it works, because I can give a bit of stick, but I don't mind getting it. You know what I mean? I'll
No,
always
I
set
do think
myself
you're
up,
good at
you know
you're
what I
good
mean?
at that
I
because
don't
you're not
mind.
precious. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
So-
exactly. I don't understand why you would be. You know,
Yeah.
I have a great laugh doing these things, and you're like, as much as anything, that's why we're sitting here now with mates. You know, and that's really that's why we got on so well. And,
Yeah.
you know, I was desperate to be the host on it, but obviously they chose.
No,
you.
listen, you hosted it, man, and it was wicked. Like you were able to read the auto cue and all that.
I've never, honestly though, that was
You
that bit was so tough because I was expecting you guys were going to hammer me. Do you remember? But Dina Asher, Dina Asher Smith come out with a beauty, didn't she? When I said about, you know, what do you have for pre-match, and then she said, I'll just have Coke, and that was it. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do
I was
remember.
like, anyway, and you took that on to another level. But no, it's
Do you reckon you're going to be? We're doing it in Manchester.
Mm.
Are you like? Do you feel like it's a shame we couldn't do more, or it's good that we're done and like we've had a good run and that's it? Like what I mean is like, say for example, if they took it to another channel, would you want to still do it?
look, I am, you know me, mate. I'm very loyal, very loyal. I'm Sky till I die, unless they sack me. I've always, to be honest, I've always worked for Sky. I've done little bits and pieces elsewhere,
Yeah.
but I've always been on League of Their Own, which is Sky. And I think loyalty goes a long way in life. That's just
Yeah.
me. Everybody has
sure.
their own view. I was at Liverpool for 11 years. You know, I like to feel that that's just how I am. I've always been like that. And
Yeah.
I like what I like doing, and I don't like change that much. I'm a
Yeah, you're like Mel and
Cancerian.
Sue on Bake Off.
Exactly. And that's what you're
get
Mel
it.
and I'm Sue.
Yeah,
I have
Yeah.
had some of the best times ever doing the show.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
been
road
amazing.
trips and doing the, you know, going away with you and Jack going to
Yeah.
America. Like unbelievable times. I'm
Yeah.
so lucky to think that I've had sort of almost 3 careers in my life. You know, so that tells you, and that comes with a bit of hard work as well, because everything we do, we don't just go on League of Their Own and it's all like, oh, we tell it, you know, we always think about what we're going to say. You know, there's a little bit of, obviously, you sort of know.
You're prepping, aren't
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
You've got to prep. It's like
Yeah.
anything. You don't just go turn up and play football on a Saturday and think, oh, it's going to be all right.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
when you do something well, it's because you trained hard and worked hard in the week.
yeah.
If you do your punditry, it's because you know you've done a little bit of work, you've done a bit of, you know, you don't just turn up and start talking about a player and say, oh, who's he? I don't know who he is.
You know,
have to do that.
when you do stand up, like not so much now because I'm on tour, but like when you do mixed bill gigs, if another comedian does well, like you're happy for him, but it's a bit annoying
No, you're gutted.
because you want to be the one that rips it. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Out of everybody. When you're doing punditry, is there a little bit of that where like if somebody says some like amazing quotable thing,
Yeah.
you're just like shit.
Shit, yeah. I actually quite like to just copy it. I'll just nick it off them. Just wait to go the following week. You know, people have forgotten, haven't they? You know what I mean? And then I forget now because of social media. No one forgets. But in the olden days, you used to be able to do that one. But no, I think the guys I work with are brilliant. You know,
Yeah.
I get on great with Micah, Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, Roy Keane is brilliant at what he does. And with Graham, even Graham Souness. I saw Graham last week. I went to Wimbledon last week. And I saw
You
Graham
said I
Souness there.
get on with Micah, I get on with Gary. Roy Keane's brilliant at what he does.
No, I love Roy.
No, yeah.
No, I
sure,
do.
sure.
I think Roy's a genius.
He is a genius.
Mate,
he is a
he's
genius. I'm just helping you out. 'cause,
No,
you know, look
no, I
like
love
you've
Roy.
got on with
I
everyone, and
genuinely.
Roy's
And I
also
didn't-
there.
I didn't know that I would like Roy as much as I do.
Yeah, I don't think anybody
know.
did because I obviously, as an Arsenal fan, I hated him.
Of course, but
Do you know what I mean?
but he's
But
very,
now,
very
what a guy.
he's funny, and he's intelligent, and he
Authentically
understands the
himself,
game.
all
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
And Roy's got that thing. I'd almost say like my dad, that he just say what he likes.
Yeah,
He'd
yeah.
get away with it. Like
Yeah.
whereas anyone else said it, I mean, they'd be
Yeah.
done, cancelled.
Yeah. Why do you still look so good? Because like a lot of footballers, they have to like work really, really hard on, not on their looks, but they have to work really hard physically, and that keeps them in good nick. And then a lot of them let themselves go. Why have you not let yourself go? You're what, 57, 58 now, right?
52 now.
52, sorry.
5-6 years. Yeah.
Right, you're 52 now. Why do you still look so good?
I'm vain.
Right.
I'm vain. I like to stay fit. I like to look. A lot of it comes from my mum. My mum's she's always, like everyone probably thinks it comes from my dad, but my mum's always
Yeah,
trained.
your mum looks great.
She looks amazing. So
She
she
looks
does
so good.
Pilates, she trains. Obviously, my mum's getting older now, but she still really
incredible.
cares about herself, her weight, how she looks. And I think I've inherited a lot of that. So I try to look good. I've always loved fashion. I love clothes. So yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty vain. I try to look my best when I can.
What are you? I know we take the piss out of you on league, but what are you genuinely doing to stop yourself aging?
At the
Real
moment,
talk, real talk,
Real
real
talk?
talk. We're not on League of Their Own now.
No.
Real talk.
Right now,
What are you doing?
I'm full on ice bath sauna,
Right.
and I'm like, and I actually feel like there's like when.
So what does that mean?
Well,
I know what it means.
I feel like I'm ice bath. Like I would call me an ice bath wanker
Right.
because like so many people. How long can you do?
Yeah.
Well, how cold is it?
How long
it's
can
so
you? How
boring.
long can you do?
Well, I like the science behind it. Like you listen to sort of everyone talks about it now, don't they?
Yeah.
Like, it's in terms
Tom
of
Davis is big into
longevity.
it.
Is he
Yeah.
into it, Tom?
He's big into it. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. And it does. Like so every morning I've got an ice bath and I get in for 3 minutes because I think that's what they tell you is the science. And mine, I have it below 3 degrees.
Okay.
And it's not fun, but
Yeah.
I actually think it's good for my brain because I just feel better doing it, and I it's like that mental aspect of it of just trying to do it. I haven't had a drink now in 18 months,
How come? Is that from vanity?
a little bit, and just purely I just felt and I've never had a bad relationship with alcohol. I've always suffered terrible hangovers, so that tells you alcohol doesn't agree with me.
Mm.
But I had my 50th and
You got messed up
messed up
because
big
Martin
time.
Too Smooth.
Yeah.
My told you he DJ'd at your
I
birthday
know,
party,
and I loved it,
and
it
he
was
said
so
you
good.
got fucked up,
I
like
did.
you were. Do you know
But
what I mean?
and I tell you what,
Hammered.
hammered off my nuts.
Yeah.
But that actually, and that was my birth, and I had all my mates there. You didn't come, did you? Well, why didn't you come again?
Because I was abroad.
That's right.
I was filming. Yeah.
And,
I would have loved to be there.
Yeah, it was a great night.
Yeah,
But
I
do you
heard.
know what, Rom? But I had, so it was 25th of June, my birthday, and my son and I played in the father-son tournament at Queenwood,
Yeah.
which is my golf club. Had a great day. We played lovely, didn't win. So we had a couple of beers there. Then we get back home, and it's about 4 o'clock. My mum and dad turned up. Charlie, my son's 20. He's excited. All beautiful weather, great summer's day, having a few more drinks. And I'd just forgotten to eat. So
Right.
then I'm having a few more tequilas. And we went to this restaurant called Los Mochis. It was a brilliant Mexican restaurant in sort of Notting Hill way. And we just hired out the restaurant. And everyone was coming. I was so excited to see everyone. And then by the time we sort of got to the club, which was opposite, I was in a mess. When you sort of, it really hit me. And
Yeah.
the next day I woke up horrendous. My two boys sort of like, I remember walking home with them and I thought, that's it. I'm going to stop drinking. That feeling of not memorizing anything that
Yeah,
had
yeah.
happened was just horrendous for me.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm going to stop. I love a glass of wine
Yeah.
and I'm not a drinker, maybe I had the odd binge. And I thought I'm going to see how I go. And that went 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. And I don't necessarily feel that much better for it, but I just feel that I'm so pleased I've
You
done
don't ever get the fear now.
No, because I hate that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate that feeling of like
Me
the
too.
next day, like, and some of my friends and people have done, you know, they've had like real problems with alcohol or drugs or whatever, and I think fair that because I didn't, but even stopping, like you'll see people having a nice glass, I thought, oh, I'd fancy that. But that it's a really tough thing to do, but not for me because I didn't have that relationship. But I just felt I'm going to stop, and I want to wake up every morning when I see Rafa. I don't want to feel like, oh, I feel like rubbish today. I want to
Yeah.
get up earlier than him, and you know, be as healthy as possible. Because I think as you get older, but I wish I'm not drunk when I played because
Yeah.
I think that part of it, in my end.
Do you reckon it affected your game?
Well, we all did it, Rom.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm some of the players I played with could go like get smashed. The next day come in like and they just train like.
Is there any part of you that thinks it's a bit of a shame it's not like that anymore? Because like, you know, everybody's saying there's not characters in the game like there used to be.
I'd love it if I played now and there's no like there was no that because that environment that I was in at Liverpool when I first went there, you get back on the bus after a game, and then to just open the fridge and we'd still be drinking cans of beer, you know. And it was
Were they
like,
hot on the nutrition in that then?
what do you think? You know what I mean? Not really. No, that was it. You'd have fish and chips and 6 beers to wash it down.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that was how it was, Ron. But no, I
Yeah.
don't. So that really is a big part of it now. And so not drinking is like, I'm not trying to sound like doing anything special, but for me, it's good because I just
Yeah.
feel better for it.
So you do the ice bath, you work out loads. I
A
know
little
that.
bit, yeah. I like training.
I know that you do. Are you still doing the face gym thing?
I haven't been to Face Gym for a while. We went to Face Gym, didn't we?
Well, we went to Face Gym for League of Their Own,
Mm.
which is like what's the best way to describe it? It's like it's a workout for your face,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
And theoretically,
like, don't get
it
me wrong.
counteracts the gravity.
Yeah, I think that nowadays, because people talk about what they've had done, what they haven't had done. Like I have tried a bit of Botox before.
Right.
And I
Okay.
don't- I
When?
hate-
When did you
Well,
do
I
it?
don't even, like a couple of years ago. But I felt, and I look back at something like it looks weird. It looked weird on me,
Because you
you
can't.
know. But now there's
Yeah.
other little things. There's like trout sperm, salmon sperm, just to make yourself look a little bit healthier.
So
but
have
that
you done
doesn't-
salmon sperm?
I've done, yeah, and trout sperm.
And what was that supposed to do?
Don't tell me like you don't know. You know.
I don't know.
Your skin looks amazing.
I
right
don't
now.
do trout sperm.
No,
What is it? Can we look at what is? I know, they don't actually just get a trout. They don't actually take a.
they don't
trout
start
to the-
wanking trouts
No,
off. No,
just get it to the vinegar strokes
yeah,
and then
exactly. No,
close your
but
eyes.
It's just like it just makes your skin. But do you know what Frida's like? Frida's super fit. She's everything she does is about looking after yourself. So I've sort of rubbed off a bit of me. So she does that.
So how did they apply it then?
They inject it.
So they just inject this thing into your face.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
But
did you notice a difference straight away?
not really. No, because do you know what, Rom? I don't even. But it's. I think with men, it's more difficult to say what you've like. We know full well. We see like there's some famous people that we watch every day that have 100% had hair transplants,
Yeah.
but they don't want to say it.
No.
And I'm like, why wouldn't you say it?
Yeah.
Because why shouldn't we be able to say, like, if a woman does something to make herself look better or has, I don't know, like maybe a boob job or something because
Yeah.
she feels more comfortable, we go, oh, okay, that's great. But if a man has like a hair transplant, we go, oh, he's had a hair transplant. So what? If that makes him feel better and if that makes him feel younger and more attractive and just have a real confidence about himself, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why people don't
No,
just
it's
come out
not-
and say it.
I
It doesn't
agree.
make any sense. Because
enough.
listen, right, okay. You've asked me, what have you had done?
I've not had anything. Oh, okay.
Let's be honest.
I'm going to be straight. I have not had any Botox or anything like that. I
Actually, but you have got good skin. I'm going to give you that. You've got great
Well, I
skin.
think that's vegan. I think that
Okay.
helps. What I have done in the past that I've denied is I was dyeing my beard for quite a bit, and now I've just let that go.
Yeah.
But that's it.
So yeah.
Korea, didn't you, to get the face reconstruction? Your face reconstruction thing, didn't you?
I didn't have. First of all, didn't you? You directed that.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
was that?
What?
He like had his bones cracked.
No. Hold on. I didn't have my bones cracked. There's like a massage in Korea that's supposed to like make you look younger, and I had that for the show. For the show, I had that,
Okay.
and like I didn't notice that much of
Maybe
it.
edit.
Pardon? It didn't make the edit.
Wow. And that's it.
I said to them it was going to be shit. I told you that was shit, that bit.
But you look
I
good
said-
for it. But what about, okay,
But okay, what would you have done? Have you had any plastic surgery?
I'll ask you a question. Because
Okay.
you've lost a lot of weight. Have you not taken any,
You're asking me if I'm on Ozempic.
no, have you tried it? Have you thought about trying it?
I have thought about it. The truth is I lost weight without doing it. And now
Okay.
I'm a bit nervous about what the side effects might be in the like I don't know how I feel
Yeah,
about
but
it.
again-
What do you think about it?
I think it's great. think it's unbelievable because it changes people's lives and it makes someone feel better. Like, this is the thing with men. I always think if we take it on 10, 15 years time now, because I look back to my, when I was 16, 17 at Liverpool, like if you'd have walked in with a wash bag, I mean, they would have questioned your sexuality.
Yeah.
But nowadays, men like carry wash bags, and there's hair dryers in the dressing room, and rightly so, because it makes them feel better. They want to look. Men are more interested in how they look and how they feel. So someone doing that, I'm like, great, good for you. Get a hair transplant if you want it. Get Botox if it makes you feel better and younger. And trying it, massaging, all these things. I think it's great.
Okay, serious question. Do you think I should have a butt implants? We've talked about it a lot on League. I've got a flat arse.
The flattest arse I've ever seen. I think you should.
But then people will know that I've had something put into my arse.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with getting something put into your arse.
But what I'm saying is, you can't. What are you getting complimented on then?
How good
Congratulations on the 2 sacks of gel they've put into your butt.
Like Lisa then will just grab your arse and just think, how sexy is Romesh right now? Instead,
it would be great
like
for her
she's just grabbing 2 pancakes.
I know. It would be great for her to have some purchase when she's pegging me. Because at the moment she's like, it's like a cliff face. She actually needs like a rope and some hooks.
Do you remember when you come on? We did something, didn't we, on League of Their Own when they were like bum enhancement pants.
Yeah. I wore the TikTok leggings. Can I tell you something?
They made no difference.
No, but do you know who was on the show? It was oh God, she does the ITV football. What's her name?
Laura Woods.
Laura Woods was on, right? Laura Woods was like, she's really nice, great guest on the show. After she saw me come out in the, I had them pulled up to hit. It was really unattractive. Actually, can we pull it up? She didn't really talk to me the same after that. I think
because she was turned on or not?
No. I think not that she was attracted to me ever, but I think it really gave her the ick to the point where she couldn't really talk to me because it was really
disgusting.
It was disgusting, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was disgusting.
No, you looked.
It was horrible.
Yeah,
and I had like a cricket.
But you put yourself in that, but
I had a cricket box in because they said like when I didn't have the box in, it just looked like my testicles were like smeared against my thigh.
Horrible, isn't it? That's one of the worst things in League of Their Own when you have to like put all tight stuff on. And
I know. Well, fuck off, Jamie.
No, there. I mean,
I know, but like genuinely, whatever I've got to say about you, you're just built to be attractive because like whatever kit they give us.
I don't know.
First of all, you know what you're doing a little bit. 'Cause sometimes you roll the sleeves up.
Well, I do try to stand next to you if I can. But what would you have done if you could do anything then?
Well, actually, so I've had a lot of people message me going that I could have my eye corrected. But I'm never going to do that because
is that a thing you can do now?
Yeah, you could I could easily get my eyelid fixed. I could easily get myself straightened up, but I don't want to do that now because there's people that have that, and also it's part of my thing now. Do you know what I mean? So I feel, and also that's what is that? 75% of my material gone.
Exactly, but we're not allowed to say anything about it anymore.
Yeah, so Sky have said, we're not allowed to make
jokes about
about my eye anymore.
Are you allowed to?
Yeah,
well, I don't even think I'm allowed to. Actually.
No, you are. No, because they said it's like your disability, and you're not allowed to say anything.
And you're not allowed to. I mean, it never makes the edit, but you're never allowed to call me the P word anymore, are you?
What's that? Prick. Penis. Oh no! No, stop it, you horrible man.
Yeah, you're going to say it again, though, aren't you?
Stop it. Listen, 20. Hey, what a way to go out on 20. Just drop the mic.
Last episode.
Yeah, last episode.
I just want to say, thanks for watching League of Their Own. And big up for Romesh, my favourite.
No.
And there's been some good ones. Like, who we had on?
Oh, don't do that to me.
So, like, I do want to say this to you genuinely. Speaking to you socially as a mate, I feel like you are at your most comfortable in your own skin period of your life, where you're just like, even when I spoke to you about, I feel like whichever way the wind blows, you'd be chill about it. Like you're happy with like Frida and Rafa and the boys and all that, and it's all working out really, really well. What's next for you? Like, what are you bothered about? What's next for you? Do you think I want to try and get a 4th career? Like, what are you thinking? Like,
do you know what? Right, it was funny. I was talking to Freddie the other week, and we were talking. Freddie Flintoff, that is, and he said one of the mistakes he's made he's always thinking, right, what am I going to do next? I'm going to do this next. I want to do that. And I'm the complete opposite. I just wait until what I'm doing is finished, and then I decide.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not under any illusions. I mean, the Sky stuff could end any minute. You know, I've been so fortunate, and it's the job I absolutely love. I don't go to Sky and do the punditry ever and think, oh, I'm bored of this. And I don't care if I'm watching like the two bottom teams playing. I love it because it's my life, it's my passion, and I just anything to do with sport and football. You know, I dream about it every day. It's ridiculous. So I don't know. The truth is, I've not for 1 second thought about it. Frida and I often talk about, okay, would we move abroad maybe? But we've got 7 kids between us. Like 2 of them, like Charlie's not in America anymore, but Frida's oldest daughter's in America, and a couple of other kids probably will go there to university or wherever. And I would hate to be away from Bo. And so would we maybe move abroad in time? I don't know. But I'm very lucky. I'm always one of those guys that like think, okay, what have I got? I'd hate to feel I was searching for something,
Right?
Because I've got everything I need in my life. You know, I had, you know, when I was single for a while, and I lucky enough, I met someone that is just like, she's just changed my life. You know, we get on so well. To find like a best mate in your life at an age when you're getting older, like you know, I was 50 when we met at sort of, I don't know, 6 years ago, something like that. So I've been so lucky. I think back at my career and the things that I've done and how lucky I've been. Genuinely, it's mind blowing. You know, I've done everything I wanted to do. There's not one thing in my life I think, like, don't get me wrong, like finishing my career at 31 through injuries was, or 27, I would say, because I pretty much retired then. I got through to 31 just because it was from a mercenary point of view, just to get earning money.
Yeah.
There was no enjoyment out of it. I have done everything I wanted to do. I don't look back and think, oh, wish I could have done that. Like, I've had the best laugh ever all the time. We are working with people in different industries. You know, I've had a great life.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, mate.
What an amazing guest. Thank you, Jamie Redknapp.
Thank you for having me, Rom.
If you've enjoyed this episode of the Romesh Ranganathan Show, make sure you follow wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, all the big ones, and you can enjoy more great content like this. And in fact, I'll go further to say, even if you didn't enjoy this episode, just follow anyway for shits and giggles. And on the Thursday episode, we're going to be taking questions from viewers and listeners.
Oh,
So that's exciting, isn't it?
it's interesting.
Yeah. And if you've got an interesting story or a question for my mum and I, or even like a family dilemma you'd like us to help you with, please do get in touch via our email address, podcast@rangabee.com, or you can voice note or text on this number, 07731 62 33 55. I'm Romesh Ranganathan, and this has been the Romesh Ranganathan Show. What a narcissist. See you next time.
Oh, shut up, Romesh.